Hey y'all, coming to you from Landmark Commercial Realty. I decided to dress down a little bit today and excited to get to season 2 of Coffee and Comps, just to revisit how this is going to work. Each year is going to be a new season, so there's going to be 12 months in each season. I started this in I think November of 2020, so that season only has 2 or 3 episodes. But so this is episode 1 of season 2. We're going to revisit January sales. If you go back to the last video that I shot, you'll notice that I said that was probably the busiest commercial real estate market, or month, I guess I should say, that I've seen in the commercial real estate market since I've been involved in it, which has only been 7 or 8 years, but still, I think it's an amazing sort of qualification of where we're at in the market. Not surprisingly, there were significantly less sales in January of 2022. There's a few reasons for that. Obviously one is that a lot of buyers and sellers want to close before the end of the year. Holidays and whatnot sort of preclude transactions going through and settling in the month of January. So, but with that being said, there are some interesting sales here that we're going to go over. One of them, and most unique probably, is 2020 Technology Parkway. Now, Landmark Commercial Realty did assist with the transaction, but the specifics of the transaction are confidential. This specific comp was procured from public records. So anyways, this was a former office building. They bought it. Like I said, it's a little bit confidential, so I'm not going to necessarily say what they're going to use it for, but it might be self-explanatory. Interestingly enough, they just bought 2000 Technology Parkway, which is just south of it. And so essentially their campus is maxed out here along Wurtsville Road, and they're expanding in every direction they can. Right now, it's no surprise that hospital systems are competing to get more space, get more patients, get more clients. So their rapid expansion is, in response to Penn State Health. It's in response to Geisinger. It's in response to a whole bunch of different threats to the market. So $45 million is quite a response, and so we'll be watching that one. We'll see what they have to do there. The second one here is a sale that I quite frankly don't know that much about, but I wanted to involve some York transactions. We're trying to highlight Cumberland, Dauphin, York, and Lancaster. That's pretty much where I operate and what I'm competent in. So this was a multi-parcel sale. It seemed seemingly leased to a third-party tenant. The buyer is J.G. Petrucci, and they're a huge player in the industrial space in our area. So no cap rate, no lease rate is known at this time, but interesting for those that work in York. Third one was brokered by Roy Brenner and Tom Pasavic out of our office here at Landmark. This was a land deal that I thought was interesting just because I drive by this site pretty often. I travel to Landmark from Lancaster at least 3 times a week now, and sorry we don't have the rate per acre here. I printed out the wrong version of the comp template, but this is going to be self-storage. Self-storage is, in episode 1 I talked about the demand for self-storage, and yeah, so I wouldn't be surprised to see more of this stuff. I think zoning is a big reason why we're not seeing a whole lot of self-storage being developed right now, because you kind of need to be in a retail location, but a lot of the commercial districts don't permit self-storage. Because it's more of it's like a quasi-industrial use, and traffic and whatnot, and all that sort of thing is a concern for those high traffic volume areas. So nevertheless, an interesting one that sort of supports the trend in self-storage demand. 4 is a purchase by Harristown. Harristown is going to renovate this building that has been a staple in downtown Harrisburg for many years. Harristown is going to partner with Don Mowry on the project. The building is going to become a 3-unit apartment building, according to Brad Jones. All of them are going to be 2 bedrooms, and he expects the work to begin this month and complete it in the fall. So, interesting one there to look out for. Not much available downtown in the way of apartments, right? So this one should be pretty good. You know, there's still a study out there that shows that downtown can support something around like 1,000 more residential units, whether that be due to the federal courthouse being constructed or just the general commerce. There are definitely surveys out there that support the feasibility of these kind of things, and the rental rates do as well. I mean, for some of the stuff that I'm doing, I'm seeing $1,800 a month for 2 bedrooms in Harrisburg. If you would have told me that 3 years ago, that would have been ridiculous, right? But rental rates everywhere are going up. It's making projects similar to this feasible. Typically, what I'm seeing in terms of an acquisition price on a per square foot basis for office conversion, my benchmark has always been about $40 to $50 a square foot. And essentially what a buyer is purchasing it with the intention to convert an office or something similar to apartments is that, you don't have entitlement for land development. You don't have a lot of the soft costs that go into engineering that land development. You obviously have a building shell. So what I like to say is that really the purchase of a conversion is it's land, it's entitlement, and then it's shell contribution. So historically, like I said, in Harrisburg, it's been $40 to $50 a square foot. And as we were talking about in a previous episode, that's a residual analysis. So what you have to sort of qualify or quantify is, what is this going to be worth when it's complete? Is it going to be worth $200 a square foot when you complete it? All right, how many dollars a square foot is it going to cost to get you there? So say it's going to be worth $200 a square foot when it's complete, and it takes $125 a square foot to do that. Well, that means that you theoretically can pay $75 a square foot as is and still have project feasibility. However, if, for instance, it's going to be worth $200 a square foot and it costs $150 a square foot to renovate it, you no longer can pay $67 a square foot to make the project feasible. You could only really pay $50 a square foot. So as complete value continues to climb, your residual analysis, your residual value of these conversion projects can increase as well, all else being equal, because as we discussed previously as well, construction costs are also rising at a rapid pace. So that's another consideration to think about when doing your residual land analysis or any type of residual analysis for financial feasibility. Sale 5 was brokered by Craig Dunkel. It's a multi-parcel, multi-building apartment complex. There are 8 one-bedroom, maybe one-bedroom or two-bedroom units. Regardless, the in-place cap rate turned out to be a little bit less than 7%. I think what's a striking metric here is that, the sale price on a per unit basis is $170,000. That's a lot for buildings like this. It just shows you where we're at in the multifamily market. There's not a whole lot of land in Camp Hill. Camp Hill School District is a desirable location for families. And, with those supply constraints and the desirable location, you could certainly expect rents to remain the same. They're not going to go down. And you could probably project them to increase. I know these units were recently renovated. I saw that Craig posted a video, and they look pretty nice inside. So interesting deal there. a little bit over $1.3 million. Sale 6 is a conversion or not a conversion. It's going to be a demolition of an existing building. This is the old Stouffer's at Kissel Hill location. It's going to be redeveloped into a car wash, or at least partially redeveloped into a car wash. Car washes are in incredibly high demand right now. So it didn't surprise me that this was going to be a car wash, but I'm still curious as to what the balance of the site's going to be used for. I mean, at a little bit over 3 acres, a 5,200 square foot car wash would seemingly only take up a portion of that. Jeff Kurtz was the broker for this property out of High. So, and Jeff's a mentor and a great friend, so I'll have to ask him about this. Unfortunately, I wanted to get this episode in before the month of February was over, so I'm kind of rushing through this a little bit, but nevertheless, that's an interesting one. I know that's been under contract a couple times. The highest and best use, I would have thought would have been medical, and apparently there was a lot of pushback on medical. So, and Manheim Township is a difficult township to get things approved, from what I hear. So, at the end of the day, it's going to be a car wash, just like a lot of other commercial development sites these days. But all right, so sale number 7 was what is it called? Liberty Square, I think. Yeah, Liberty Square. And so the listing broker is Matt Wolf and Robert Holland out of Kislak. The buyer was represented by Bo Mangum with Landmark Commercial Realty. This is an interesting one. Sold for $16 million. I don't know a lot of details about this sale. I believe Bo was saying that the cap rate based on in-place income was around 8%. Please check back with me if you want to know more about that sale, or reach out to any of these brokers. I'm sure they'll be happy to discuss it. This is a cool one just because of the prominent location. I mean, this is an iconic site right along Jonestown Road outside Harrisburg. So so I'm sure a lot of people are familiar with this one. This is a quick and short one. Hopefully you guys enjoyed listening and learned something. Looking forward to coming to you live in March. So have a good weekend, everybody. Bye.